On the road to College Park, Maryland, set to take on the Terrapins, we face our second Big Ten team of the year, and one that very recently had some massive recruiting news. After taking down the Bulls last episode in a massive win here for Kent State, getting some revenge on last season. Post-game, Coach Ty found out that the number 10 safety in Zeimann committed to Kent State over Maryland, and he will be bringing a balanced safety skill set in a group that right now very much could need it. Zeimann, 88 speed with 74 zone and 73 man, 72 tackling in there as well. Plus, he's got great acceleration, change of direction, and agility. He could be the future in the secondary for Coach Ty. And that is coming off the heels of some lackluster play from defensive captain Colin Gill. Ever since this team made it to their conference championship and bowl game, we just haven't seen Gill perform the same way. But perhaps we're expecting too much from him, as he does lead this team in tackles. We also, though, want to shout out a couple defensive linemen. Jaiheen Roy leads us in TFLs with 6, and now the new leader in sacks is Bobby Ellington with 2.5. After just a couple weeks ago, him not having a single one. We want to talk about those safeties. Transfer in and Quentin Reddish did get an interception last episode, as well as 2 for Jair Rollison, our first interceptions of the season. And Coach Ty would love to see that impact against Malik Washington of the Terrapins, a 4-star high school recruit, currently a team captain of Maryland. And so far this year, he has seen a good amount of success passing, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. We would love to see that number rise. At running back, another captain for the Terrapins is Dajuan Williams, and he's averaging 6 yards a carry, already 4 touchdowns on the year. They're also getting Josiah McLaurin involved, and while they do still see a lot of rushing attempts from Washington, it has been to very limited success. Passing seems to be the focus for the quarterback, finding Gibson, Manning, and Kellen McConnell, the tight end, who is second for them in receptions. Meanwhile, Gibson does have 4 receiving touchdowns on the season. But that is nothing in comparison to Tank Hawkins as we enter week 6. This man has already put up near 700 yards, 9 touchdowns. 1 more would put him at double digits before the midway point of the season. He is averaging a $173 through the air a game. And that's with Mason Kelsey throwing 67%, also over 1,100 passing, 14 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. He has stepped into a whole new league this year. And with this matchup being far closer than in seasons past, we need to see Kelsey continue to bring it. As we are underway in College Park, it's Hassman to return. He takes it right up center field to the 24, which will be where Kelsey and the offense heads out. We've talked about Tank Hawkins, a $171 and 3 touchdowns last week, multiple 3-touchdown games this season. And at least of right now, he is showing no signs of slowing down. The offense starts with a pistol set here. They got Smith over on the right-hand side, Dupree in the backfield. He'll take the handoff and find some space. Martin to help block, and he carries it to the 40. Normally not one to get a big run here early on, but Dupree finds some success, as it's a traditional run here that Smith is tackled through the block. I believe that was Norton Jr., a bit banged up last week. Now back in the game, starting center here for Kent State. Throws into a tight window, and that one's going to be popped down. Arnold, the tight end, 2 of Kent State, unable to squeeze it. 3rd and 10 as the bells toll here. And there's going to be motion. That is Tank Hawkins. They do bite down. They try to get Hawkins out in space, but he is tracked down for a loss. That'll be a punt. A great job from the Terrapin defense out the gate there. They gave up 1 play, but they clamped down after. That brings out Washington. The Terrapin offense, as they will start by looking to go for deep. A bit more of a rare miss there. Washington. He's been about 62% and under quick pressure. Kent State brought 6. Oh, I believe the transfer linebacker Ingold got there first. A quick 3rd and long here, as they do send everyone downfield, trying to flood one side. Opens up tight end play, and they're going to have it. Defense just a bit too soft there in coverage. And it is the tight end of the Terrapins converting. Again, he's been their number 2 target this year. Pressure Abu Hamde takes a lot off that throw. Coach Ty out the gate here, showing he will be aggressive, already sending a near full house blitz twice. So look to get the run game outside, and they will find the edge. Williams takes a hit there from Reddish. That will answer the quick stop on 1st down with a new 1st down here on the opposite side of the field. Facing the blitz again, Abu Hamde in the gap. Though Elijah Fall shaken up here for Kent State. He appeared to be holding at that right arm perhaps. So in the meantime, we'll see a rotation up front with a stacked front here for Coach Ty's defense. With patient running, we'll have a good chunk. That time able to beat the stacked look, sends it to 3rd and 4. Washington will look to hand this one off, and Williams will convert another 1st down. With Elijah Fall out the game, they've gone to 2 straight runs, and it's been to some pretty good success here for the Terrapins. So we'll look to go to the air here with a quick dump off. Rumbling downfield, the big fella at tight end. Well, the Terrapins have definitely given up some plays here offensively. A couple sacks, a couple quick pressures. They're marching down the field here. We're going with the counter and a good stop, Gill. We've heard Coach talk about wanting to see him step up. That's a great stop on the run, forcing a 3rd and about 1.5. Williams tries to go outside, and he meets 2. McFarland and Rollison get the stop as a loss of 1 sets up 4th and 2 with a field goal attempt that is just to the right of the All-State logo. Good opening drive there, and a bit of some extra blocking happening behind the kicker. But ultimately, Terrapins, they start their game off strong. Stop on defense, and now a lead. Offense is at the 25. As they start with that triple option here, Kelsey will lower that shoulder, and he appears to now be a bit banged up. Not going to see it there out on the field, but he's going to make his way to the blue tent. And frankly, that's going to bring in a quarterback here in transfer Young that we have not seen. And play 1, he'll just give the handoff. Smith right down center. And he'll end up going as a really solid gain there for Kent State. Good news is Kelsey makes his way back out onto the field, though it is with an extra pad there on the elbow. Triple option, and Maryland was ready. Delmar White just sat there waiting. Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd and 12. Throwing this one outside, that's going to be to Coates, the transfer tight end. He's angling back towards the center of the field and gets it to the 30. And for the first time in today's game, Kent State is plus side. There's a move inside, a 1.5 minutes here. 3 hands down in the backfield. And Smith finds the lane, and he's going to take this one to the house. Kent State with a quick answer on offense. They've taken the lead with the game's first touchdown. And Smith with patient running there. Just lets the line pick up their blocks. He found the gap, and there was no stopping him after that. And you really do have to shout out the other running backs there as well, because they all got stuck in and helped seal that gap. But can Washington and the Terrapins answer? They hand this one off Williams, and he'll fight through and nearly get the first. He's shown time and time again here today that he's not going to be an easy guy to bring down. 2nd and 1. They go back to him, and he just straight weaves by the linebacker. I believe that was Abu Hamde. He's been playing a little bit more of that Will-style linebacker, weak side, and just simply got ran by. What could be the final play here of the first quarter? Washington throws outside, and a catch from Williams. Looked like that one should have been incomplete. Michael McGonigal injured on the play for the Terrapins starting left tackle as we reach 0-0 on the clock here. Good news for the Terrapins. They'll have a little bit of extra time here to sort out play there at left tackle. But so far today, Williams and Smith are leading the way. Run game has been strong for both sides. Haven't seen too much from the passing game. We'll see if that changes as we look to get the second quarter underway. Just by the midfield line is Washington and the Terrapin offense. With a throw ripped out, Gill. Or apparently not. They actually counted that as a catch. If anything, that might be close to a fumble. Looks like the referees, though, are actually challenging this as a spot of the ball. Looks like they're going to say that White's knee was down. Bit of a bang-bang play there, and with them going, hurry up, Coach Ty had to make a decision. Unfortunately, does not go Kent State's way, so first down to about the 30-yard line. Broken up easily, could tell that time. And that was Scott in coverage. Another transfer here for the defense. The last couple of years, Coach Ty has relied a lot on transfers. The 2nd and 10, it's Maryland breaking up their own pass. So the 3rd and 10 inside field goal range here. They do come out with 2 spread either side. They look to send everyone downfield. Washington throws to the one-on-one and broken up. It's Rollison. He was looking for Gibson, his star receiver. And for their 2nd field goal attempt, it again is just to the right side of the All-State logo. 3 more for Maryland, though trails 7-6. And Kent State getting the ball here could look to make this an 8-point game if they have the same success as last time. Kelsey still out there with that pad, and that pass got popped up. Looked like they were trying to set up a screen to the outside, but just unable to get the pass out there cleanly. 2nd and 10 then. Hawkins in motion. They will get it out to him. One defender in his face, but he jukes by him. Now he's got some speed. Opposite 35 goes Tank Hawkins. Now we aren't seeing him run away so far from this defense, but that's his first big pop play. The 1st and 10 plus side. Back to that triple option and out to Smith here quickly. Unable to break the tackle in open field. But on first down, a gain of 4 is never bad. You get that 3 plays in a row, you've got a first down. Triple option again here, and they quickly get it to Tank Hawkins. Out in space, breaks 1, but loses forward progress. Kent State's been hit with that several times this year. 3rd and inches, and it's Dupree with a pulling guard in front. Believe that was Dominic Easley, the transfer left guard. First down here, Kent State, they come out with almost an empty set, and it's Kelsey down the gut. That'll be a quick pop of 5 yards there, showing that even with that elbow being an issue, it's not the throwing elbow. And he's going to go to war with it. As they go RPO, they get it out to the big fella in space. And he's not able to shake by more. But it is more yardage for Kent State. It sets up goal to go at the 9. They will have motion here. That's Dupree to the outside. Flipping it out that way late. He's got the edge, and he will have the angle to the end zone. Make this an 8-point lead here. Kent State on top of the Terrapins about midway through your 2nd quarter. And that play's been a focus for Coach Ty of late, especially when it comes to recruiting. Trying to get the running backs involved as receivers. Dump off here, and there goes the tight end. 2nd grab of the day for McConnell. He's got 21 in total. The 2nd and 4 here at the 22. Once again, a double A-gap look here for Kent State, but they do not get back there quick enough. Williams, first down. He came into this game averaging about 6 yards a carry. Right now, he's hitting about 5.5 yards a carry. The 1st and 10 here with an empty set. Throws just short of the 1st. But it is reeled in by number 21, who's now off the field here for the Terrapins. Leaving a 2nd and inches. Williams, as he hops over, he gets flipped. Extremely risky here in the game of football to ever leave your feet. Luckily, he's right back up and out there for 1st and 10. The 46-yard line. Throws across the middle and breaking a pair of tackles. Ripped forward. Gill finally brings him down. That is Gibson, their leading receiver this year. Finally makes an impact on this game. They looked for him last time. Was incomplete. They settled for the field goal. Facing the blitz here, and it's a spear for McConnell. With how he's played this year, though, do have to be surprised he didn't bring that one down. 2nd and 10 here for Washington, who looks to go to the air. It's back to McConnell, upended. Rollison quickly getting him down. They're not going to go at him straight up. That is the 100th completion of the season as well for Washington, who hands off to here, and Williams, you could just tell, is a threat. Though looks like Will Larkins, offensive line here for Maryland, injured on the play. as he makes his way off the field of play. It is 1st and 10. With 2:02 now counting, Williams once again finding space. It'll go as a gain of 4 and send us through the 2-minute break. 3 timeouts for Maryland, 2 for Coach Ty's Kent State with a big hit across the middle. Gibson squeezes it. That's now over 100 yards passing for Washington, who looks to go back to the air here. Outside and broken up, however, the ref in the back of the end zone throws a flag. Looks like they're going to get DPI here on Rollison. Now that's a very, very questionable call. Looked like good timing, bang, bang, but they just don't give it to him. And there's Reddish ripping down Williams. A good answer from Coach Ty's defense. They knew where the Terrapins were going to go there. Their main man of this whole first half, and punched out again, Reddish. Defense looking for a stand here to force yet a 3rd field goal. It's 3rd and goal at the 4, as they will look to go to the air here. Washington scrambles and comes up short. Roy with a touchdown saving tackle. And it trots out the field goal unit here at about the 2-yard line. This is a chip shot. You got to make sure you get that one up, as they'll let that clock run down to 4 and call a timeout. They wanted to make sure Kent State had 0 opportunity after this kick. With the speed of Tank Hawkins, got to understand why. But the field goal is good, and it makes this one 14-9. Well, that'll be where we send this one to the break. While Maryland has shown time and time again they can drive down the field, they are not capping off their drives with touchdowns. The defense has slowed them down, and we've called Reddish's name quite a lot. 4 tackles, 2 pass deflections, a.k.a. broken up passes. Now, where this defense needs to see some improvement is tackling Williams. He's been all over the place for the Terrapins. But every time, Kent State's offense has seemingly answered with some big plays, spreading that ball out. We've seen pretty much every starter on the offense make a play in this one. And for the Terrapin defense, it's frankly been too much. They need a little bit more of Gibson in the second half, their leading receiver. He's had a couple grabs, little impact. And we'll see if they scheme him open whatsoever to start the second half, as it is going to be Terrapin ball. They go to Williams, and there's a quick run stop. Now, it is also a long field ahead here for Maryland. The return only got to the 13. Now they go with the speed option, and coming from behind is Roy. He already led the team in TFLs, and he picks up another 3rd and 12. Now, Kent State did have a similar spot like this in the first half. They gave it up to the tight end. We'll see what Maryland decides to do here. It's out to the flat, and Williams is corralled by Crowell. That'll be a punt. With a pretty solid return from Tank Hawkins as a setup inside the 45-plus side. Will be a keeper here, and Kelsey's going to get rid of it a little bit earlier, it looks like, today with that elbow. Oh, I don't think you're going to see much complaints from the like of Smith and Dupree. I'm sure they would love a few more carries. Now, the fans trying to keep their Terrapins in this one here, making it a little loud. They egg on their defense to a good run stop, bringing up 3rd and 4. Playing down in the box here are the Terrapins. Hard count not going to work out there. They'll throw Tank Hawkins underneath, and he'll find a little gap for the first down. And we haven't seen him pop off any huge plays today. Did have about a catch and a run of about 30-40 yards earlier, but everything outside of that has been rather underneath. Tracked down 23 on 23. Joquez Smith, though, his average is looking mighty nice in this one with 54 yards on 8 carries. They go play action off of him. Rolling to the right side here, and overthrows Carrion. That's really not something you could do easily. That man is 6'6". Hawkins in motion here. They look to set up that RPO. They got Tank outside, spin move, and couldn't get by the last 2, but appears to be a little bit banged up after that play, making his way to the sideline as well. Now he's seen a heavy workload of late. Both he and Kelsey, leaders of this team, a bit banged up in this one. We'll see if he makes his return. As it's going to be Smith, RPO, they went to the pass last time. Maryland bid on it. It opens up Smith down the gut to make this a 21-9 lead at College Park, Maryland. And frankly, the Terrapin crowd just looked to be in complete utter shock. A couple years ago, Kent State, not really a well-known team. Coach Ty has seen them on the rise. They're now rivaling some much tougher competition as Williams with the carry picks up another 5. He's really been their offense today. And teeing off of that, now they set up their own RPO, finding Gibson. And that is what Maryland needs to do a whole lot more here in this second half. Use Williams to open up Gibson and vice versa. As Williams with space, but not by fall. Good to see the DT out there. Got injured in the first half. He and Ellington now lead the center of this defense. The 2nd and 9. They do get motion there. Williams, he slips one, but not able to get away. Coach Ty's defense is flying around and have forced another 3rd and long. Bunch out to the left-hand side here for Washington. Williams also going to go that way, looking for that underneath play, but Abu Hamday's all over it. Mekhi White comes up about 4 yards short. They punt it away. We start at the 40. Finding a lane down the middle, there goes Smith. Good tackle in open field. Maryland's safety had to make that play. Smith, though, well over 7 yards a carry, closing in at about 8 right now. As they draw out that pitch, there goes Smith. He finds the edge at the 30, the 20. Lee tracks him down just before he reaches the 10, but over 100 yards on the ground goes Smith. And it's been great to see what Coach Ty has been able to do here with Kent State, turning them into a true contender, even against some of the Power 4 teams. And there goes Dupree, a couple spins for 2. As we move inside, a minute to go here in the 3rd. It is 2nd and 8, then at the 9. Hassman checks in right side, carrying to the left-hand side. No Tank Hawkins out there right now as Carrion gets the grab, but they're going to say that ball was down prior to the knee. If this play stands, it is Terrapin ball and could be a huge momentum shift, something the Terrapins are desperate for. But in today's game alone, we've seen more challenges come from Coach Ty than he has any game prior. As we see here, Carrion coming down. Looks like that right knee's down, the right elbow's down before that ball ever comes free, and that's even with a bad angle. So you lose one in the first, but you get the one in the second. It's 3rd and 2. Still going to make sure you convert this down, and it is a heavy look here. As they look to leak out Bailey, the fullback returns but cannot get 2. He's been the starter the last couple years at that spot. Sets up a 4th and a long 1. And with the final play of the 3rd, it's Smith in again. Back-to-back touchdown drives. Kent State hands the rock off to Smith, and he caps it off now with a 28-9 lead. Kent State absolutely has brought it here to College Park. They ended last season ranked. So far this year, they have not been ranked. But after taking down Cincinnati, by the looks of it, Maryland, barring any amazing comeback, they might need to get some votes yet again. Depending on how this season ends, they might as well be getting some calls from the ACC, Big Ten, a potential joining, moving up in conferences. We still got 9 minutes to play here. Can Maryland get anything going? They check down and they pick up 5. And sometimes that's all you need to kickstart a good drive here. Just something good on your first play. Facing the blitz here, that ball is out to Williams as he gets underneath Gill. Good news, Ellington was chasing from behind. He drags him down, setting up 3rd and 2. This time a short 3rd down. As they look to flood the outside, a good tackle is Rollison. But Maryland is going nowhere. They keep the offense on the field. If there's going to be a comeback, it's got to start now. They will look to pop up pass underneath, and a bad angle taken there by Ingold to the midfield logo. That's a completion Maryland's been desperate for. Surprisingly, it wasn't to Williams. The 1st and 10 at the opposite 49. Washington, clean pocket across the middle, and a big hit is delivered. Ryan Manning with back-to-back grabs. That time, he paid for it. But picks up 7. It's 2nd and 3. Williams tries to cut back, and he's going to lose about half a yard. Now, at this point, it's clear that it's 4-down territory for the Terrapins. They need just 3 yards for a fresh set. Facing the blitz, though, Abu Hamday as well as Ingold. They will split that sack, both set on it. Looked to be a blitz through the same gap on the right side of that offensive line. A loss of 7. And that puts Coach Ty's defense in a good spot here. A good chance of getting off the field. 4th and 11 as they send everyone deep. They have the check down to Williams, but they'll chuck it up to Gibson. Nearly a touchdown, but caught out of the back. Looked like Rollison almost had this, but it looks like we are going to go into a review here. Clearly, no possession. He caught that 1,000% in the white, almost in the green behind the end zone. I'm not really sure what that review was about, but I guess we'll take it. As the offense does hit the field, it's Young in at quarterback, Dupree at running back, Bailey at fullback. So definitely seeing some rotation here as Dupree gets a beautiful block, but Lee will rob him of a touchdown on it. But all the way down to the 11 for running back 2/fullback 1. And still the fans here today just in awe of what this team has been able to do and the lack thereof for their team. At the 11, more motion here. That's Bailey now outside. Dupree tries to take it down the middle. He gets 2. But down inside the 10-yard line here, it's now I-form as Martin checks in at running back. So definitely seeing some continued rotation. He takes it outside, but the spin's not going to work. I do, however, like the attempt. 3rd and 4 now. Smith checks in here. 2 spread either side. And a good fake there from the corner. That is 6 Hayward. It's going to be a pick 6. Young on one of his few, if only, passing attempts. Gives up a touchdown the other way. But it was Howard who pumped like he was going to head towards the quarterback. Made Young think, hey, I got a wide open touchdown. Just happened to be going the other way. What a play. The Terrapins really needed at least a little something in a game that has not gone your way. And that is also the only touchdown for the Terrapins on the day. 28-16 with a failed onside. It's Bailey rumbling down the middle. And we will see if Coach gives Young any more chances to throw. But right now, looks like they are running clock as Smith is not done yet. He's got a good cutback weak side. Taking a pop there at the end, and a timeout comes in, Maryland. Now only down here by 12 points. This game is not over, but that clock is not in their favor. Harrison motion here, receiver, and I think the guard forgot to block. Not sure if that was a scheme problem or what, but it was not a good play. Loss of 3 sets up 2nd and 13. Now they do have motion here. And flipping it outside, that's Hassman with the blocker in front, and Kent State is not done. That one, though, should be the nail in the coffin. And in all, just an absolutely dominant performance from start to finish here for Kent State. They came to Maryland with a mission. And so far, their mission is 2-1 against teams of higher conference than themselves. Joquez Smith ends up taking the player of the game here today. Tank Hawkins got a little bit of a breather in the second half of this one, same as Mason Kelsey. Smith shows why he has been a great transfer running back in. In fact, Kent State has had a new running back take over to be their starter each and every year under Kent State. Might the showing here of these running backs finally get a running back to commit and stay committed to Kent State throughout. You keep picking up wins like this, there's no telling the future. And this time, we take home your defensive player of the week for the MAC in Quentin Reddish. With those 4 tackles, 2 pass deflections. It didn't look like he picked up any stats in the second half, but that first half effort was fantastic. And I feel like Derek Zeimann's got to be pretty happy with his decision to choose us over Maryland after a game like that. There was one player who's not, and that is Bruce Scales. Now, he's a running back. He's a 4-star, and Kent State really has not been able to bring in 4-stars ever. Well, he doesn't exactly match what Coach Ty wants at that running back spot with the 85 speed. It's more of a thing for the sponsors, the boosters, right? Like, hey, Kent State is bringing in 4-stars. So while I would love to bring in Bruce Scales right now, he's just being a problem for us in recruiting. Who's not being a problem for us is Allen Hyman. We now have him set to come on a visit in Week 8. We also have Hawk, who we're in a tight race right now. We're really banking on that Week 7 game to swing things in our favor, because as it looks right now, Penn State might be pulling away. Well, the good news is, with Hyman, we do have a backup option, and his motivations very much fit what Coach Ty has been able to do here. So that part is looking good. We could still land a 4-star recruit. But all things recruiting and play on the field are looking very, very promising. Now, next time, I expect we get through this Ohio game rather quickly. And then we're going to focus in on that Iowa game, because I don't feel like that Ohio game really deserves a full game to itself. So I really want to make that one quick. And then we dive into this Iowa one, round out our non-conference games, and look to go 3-for-1, and frankly, almost 4-0. We played very well against Ohio State, though they do continue to drop in the rankings. And speaking of rankings, we still are not yet in the top 25. If we look for some more information and just scroll on through, we are starting to receive some votes, which is good. It was just only 17 votes. Michigan right now is getting 162, Texas Tech 161, Michigan State 111, and Oklahoma 95. Surprisingly, all of those teams, maybe not Michigan State, are outside the top 25. And currently at the top, you have two teams that are blue and gold. UCLA, they went to the Natty last year, and Notre Dame, they're right up there. Nebraska, Pittsburgh, a team we beat last year. USC rounds out the top 5. But as for the MAC, we still very much here sit at the top. Bowling Green, though, close behind Miami University of Ohio. And Ohio are also the only teams who are currently undefeated in conference play. So we could help ourselves out early next episode. And to make sure you don't miss how we handle a 56 overall team, then go to Iowa. Make sure you're hitting that bear icon in the bottom right corner or scrolling down, hitting that sub button. And while you're down there, make sure you're also tapping that bell icon, hitting the thumbs up as well. And if you have the option available to you, make sure you hype these videos as well. It's a great way of showing your support, while you also are showing your support by being here and being here for Coach Ty as we continue trying to build Kent State into one of the top programs, not only in Ohio, but across the country. We got a whole lot more, so make sure you don't miss out. Make sure you don't miss out on the Giants tomorrow with Coach Barrington. They too are also looking to control the East. We'll decide more of how their season goes with a doubleheader. So a whole lot coming your way. Make sure you're there for it. Coach Ty looking to keep the steamroll going here with Kent State.